All right, we are back with a bonus episode for the new year. I'm pretty excited.
Happy New Year.
I'm Jamie Livingston.
And I'm Sarah Lyles, and we are so approachable. All right.
So we are going to dive into the Housemaid.
Right?
The movie.
Right, the adaptation.
Right. So this takes us back to baby podcasters, Sarah and Jamie, and our very first episode was The Housemaid. So if you haven't listened to those episodes, we have our TLDR and our cover-to-cover episode. Go listen. Those were fun.
Don't judge us, okay?
Don't judge us. We've come a long way in the last 8 months or something like that.
Yes. What did we say? 20 books.
20 books that we have covered, and that was our very first. So we knew that we had to go to the movie theater. We thought about doing it separately, but we found a time where we could both go and sit in the movie theater together and enjoy. So deal with us. This is quite late in the evening for two moms who, are on Christmas break. But we are going to dish all things that we thought about this movie and how it compared to the book. And we also want to just kind of recap our year, our first little journey on this podcast.
I know, it's been so fun, and I can't believe it's already been 20 books.
Right.
That's
we can't
really
say
crazy.
a whole year because we started in April.
Right.
But we've come a long way.
Yes. And actually, it's kind of fun that our New Year episode is off of our first book.
Right?
Yeah.
Full circle.
Full circle. All right. So I want to know, what did you think how they did of the book and the movie? And obviously you've seen a lot more. I think this is the only time that I was like, I got to see this movie like now. You just drove like all the way back from Michigan and I'm like, okay, yeah, take a nap because we're going to see it tonight.
Right. We just got out of the car for a nice long road trip and got to sit in the movie theater for another 2 hours, but it was worth it. This was a great girls' night out, and I think I want to start with maybe the characters, the actors who were picked for this role. I had a hard time looking at the posters and the trailers for this because I think that Amanda Seyfried, yes. I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Sydney Sweeney just look identical.
Especially in the poster. The way it is. Now, watching the movie, I saw a lot of differences. But in the way the poster is done with like one eye and then one flipped over the other way, they look a lot alike.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so I was kind of creeped out by that from the beginning. But I get that that's kind of the point, is that Nina is finding her replacement.
Right.
And so it needs to be somebody who is her husband's type. And so finding somebody who's similar. But what did you think about the actresses? Did they play those roles well?
I mean, it's always hard. That's a hard role, I would think, to be Nina. Mm-hmm. I think she did a great job. I liked those women in those characters. I think they did a really good job. I thought it was better and that they played the roles better than I envisioned.
Yeah. I was very curious as to how they were going to be able to put this into the movie sphere, because when you're reading the book, there's part 1 and then there's part 2.
Oh, yes.
And so I was very curious if we were going to be getting flashbacks throughout or not, or like how they were going to weave those. But they followed it like to a T.
Oh, yes.
Where it got to the point in the book where you
Part 2. Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, that's how they're doing it. Like, I like this. She was writing a letter to her daughter to explain everything. I thought that was...
It was well done.
Yeah.
Right.
I am curious. I really want to pick the brains of some people who went to see the movie who didn't read the book to see if they saw that twist coming. Because I know when we were reading, like, we were kind of bamboozled. So I'm going to assume that people watching the movie didn't pick up on it, or maybe they did.
I don't know now that that's different in the movie, but we'll get into that in a minute. Okay, so the only thing I felt that was lacking as far as the characters, I think we both kind of talked about Enzo. He was such a small role in the movie.
In the movie, yeah.
Right, and so there was just little bits of him.
I was still I could have been suspicious of him in the movie.
Sure.
We talked about it in our main episode that I thought that Enzo was like an undercover agent. For some reason, like, he seemed suspicious, but then I thought that he was actually a force for good, and that was like a protector. And so I think that we do come to realize that he's been trying to protect Nina the whole time, but it was very much lacking in character development.
Yeah.
He was like an easy bad guy.
Yeah, and really, like, there's just little interactions with him, just very, very small, that if you didn't have him in the movie, you really wouldn't have missed him.
Right. I think you kind of needed a creepy guy as the foil or as just as kind of the fall guy.
Right.
But in the book, Nina, like, comes on to him. Not Nina. Millie comes onto him and, like, tries to seduce him or whatever. And, like, you don't get any of that. You get a couple cold shoulder moments and just, like, you shouldn't be here.
I mean, when he was standing at the door and scared her.
That was terrifying.
And that was necessary for her dropping the plates.
Right.
Yeah. So
I did miss a little bit more of Enzo. What did you think about who they picked for Andrew?
I loved him as a role. Man, I envisioned him being a very, like, muscular man, very well-to-do, and they succeeded beyond my thoughts of what a character he could play, because he did such a good job playing the good guy and, like, the protector husband, and like, I was like, man, he's hot.
Because he's in Colleen Hoover's movie. Is that the one that they were saying?
I think so.
It Ends With Us.
Oh, yes, you're right.
He plays the good guy in
Yes.
that one. And so you may have already been accustomed to him being the nice guy.
I didn't even correlate until you just said that, like, oh, they were talking, mind you, this was a girls' night, and I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, he's like, yeah, okay.
I never actually made it through that movie awake. Oh, so I don't remember him being the good guy. I read the book, but never made it through the movie.
Much different story.
Yes, this one. The other character that I want to chat about is Cece.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the book, she is this creepy little girl, and we talked about how creepy she was with her little dresses and, like, wouldn't make a mess. How do you think that came across in the movie?
She definitely wasn't Children of the Corn like I thought she would be.
No, not at all.
I mean, her little dressers weren't as, like, pristine as I envisioned them to be.
Not as elaborate with, like, lace and frills.
Yes,
she was definitely, like, dressed up and looked nice, but
no. Yeah, and so hers was lacking a little bit, but I understand for the cinematic, like, portion, it was like, okay, we're just going to have her there. She did play her role. She did do a good job, but it wasn't what I envisioned.
Her little dollhouse was nice and creepy, though.
So creepy.
And she's, like, playing house and, like, having a dinner table is a privilege.
Yeah, that's something. That's something. The
Yeah.
juice about the clean glass, where she was like, this glass isn't clean.
Right. Yes, there were definitely some creepy moments, but I wasn't. Maybe I was picturing her as more of, like, a sickly, frail child, and she was like this plump, cute little something.
Yeah.
I don't know what else would have turned me off. I mean, she was just a sassy child, and so not, like, creepy.
Right. I guess, like, when they were in the ballet studio, the way that played out is how I envisioned that to play out. So that was well done. But other than that, I'm like, eh. And then they didn't put in the portion, I think, I didn't miss it, but I heard it was talked about the peanut butter, that little, like, fiasco.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be when she brought cupcakes home.
Oh.
She was like, oh, I got these for Cece. And he specifically looked at the box and was like, oh, yeah, she's going to love these. And I thought there was going to be, like, an ingredient in them. Didn't have to be the peanut butter, but I thought that he was, like, giving the sign off on, like, yeah, she's going to love these. And then I thought they were going to be bad for her.
Oh.
But no.
Mm-mm. No, and I didn't even miss it. Like, I know that some people did, but to me it didn't even, matter.
I think that we had talked about that being a plot hole.
Well,
so
it
they
was.
definitely took that out to be like,
True.
Yeah, she wouldn't have harmed her own child.
Of course, yes.
So I get why they took it out, but I thought that her bringing those cupcakes was going to be my peanut butter moment.
Well, that could have been, because that wasn't at all in the book in some way. All right, so the only other character I really want to know is Evelyn.
Oh, man. Whew. Evelyn. We've had, like, nightmares about Evelyn. Like, she comes up in a lot of our episodes because this character is just traumatizing. But it's ironic that this movie came out at Christmas, and the only place that I recognize the actress who played the mom in this is from Miracle on 34th Street. Like the old cute one, I mean, from like my childhood that I absolutely love. And I adored that mom. Like, she's so beautiful. And in this movie, she was terrifying.
She was. I told you Cruella de Vil, like to the fullest, to her mannerisms, to her hair,
Yes.
to the way she dressed and walked and held herself.
Yes.
Yes. Like I love that that's like the most genuine movie that you see. And then you see her and you're like, ooh, not the same character.
No, she was very harsh. I think she played that role very well.
Very well. Yes.
She was creepy, for sure.
I loved at the end where she mentions the tooth. And you're like, oh, she knows.
Right. And I mean, she's standing by the, like, well,
PTA.
Teeth are a privilege, and he must not have been treating his teeth very well.
I know.
And I feel like it was at that moment, well, I don't know. In the movie, it seemed like Nina was just realizing that he got it from her.
You're
Like,
right.
the look on her face where she was like, teeth are a privilege?
And she's like, okay, I'm going to go over here.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she didn't like put those together up until that point, but it was definitely very obvious at the end that she was like, oh, Crazy Train started with Mom. No wonder. But I mean, she did accuse him of like doing everything in his life to try to get praise from his mom.
Well, she did say, remember when they were upstairs and they were fighting, and she was saying, like, at one point, I felt sorry for you. So there had to be something else in there that made her realize, like, you've been vying for your mother's love and all of this for years. And so it was just, it was something.
It was. I mean, the book itself was. And I do think that they did a great job of sticking to the book.
Yeah.
They covered so much ground. And you had said that you haven't read a lot of books and then gone and watched the movies.
Right.
It's normally the case that a lot is left out because books can go into such detail.
Right.
And so, I mean, my biggest gripe is like Harry Potter, and you have like complete chapters removed and things that have never happened, and people who've never read the books may love the world of Harry Potter, but they don't know that Hermione was an elf advocate because that complete storyline was taken out, and like they didn't even play sports in several of them. Like there's just so much that's taken out. I feel like they did a really good job of sticking to the story here up until the last
The end.
chapter.
I know. How about that? So, like, the ending.
Spoilers upon spoilers upon spoilers right here. So if you have not seen the movie yet, it's different from the book.
Yes, so different. And I am here for it. I loved the change. So to me, I was like, okay, this is going to happen. He's going to die. But then whenever she dropped the plates and he had her put them in a bag, I was like, that's different. Something's big is different. Like, because that was a big moment, right? So that was like what dictated her punishment, had to go coincide with it. And I was like, okay, something different's about to happen. Did not expect the big twist on things.
So what actually happened in the movie is what I thought was going to happen when I was reading the book.
Interesting.
So it was that like dramatic moment where Nina runs up the stairs and goes to open the door, and I was like, don't open the door, he's still alive. Like that's while I'm reading. And I'm like, oh no. And it turns out it had actually been a couple days and Andrew was dead up in the attic and there wasn't an issue. I 100% was reading that like Andrew was going to come barging out the door and like there was going to be more violence. And so when that happened in the movie, I was like, oh no, I wasn't prepared for this. My anxious nerves were like ready for him to just be dead, and he wasn't.
Well, yeah, because the book starts with the dead body. This movie does not, right? And so we don't get introduced to that. So we aren't even realizing we're missing that. So he doesn't die in the room. Like, so it changes everything. And so the way he even died was just such a huge surprise. And I just loved Millie. I felt like the way in her sass and the way she like taunted him with all the dishes and the gasoline, and then even to light the match. And then I was kind of like, I laughed because I was like, why am I laughing? Because I think this is kind of funny. I'm like, I know he's getting ready to pull his tooth out, but it's just like that was grotesque.
Yes. All of the girls in our row were like,
I watched behind
like,
fingers.
pulling out your own front tooth.
And they literally like show you.
Yeah.
And mind you,
it's the sounds. It was the sounds of the crunch. He didn't do a good job of pulling the tooth out. He definitely like broke it off.
Yes.
Which was even worse.
Yes. I mean, that was cinematic.
Yeah.
For the most. I will say that this movie change did have a lot more spicier scenes. So if you really are not into that, I mean, stay away from it because there is a lot more spice in the movie than there is in the book.
Right. I think it's a little more implied in the book.
Yes.
That like they come back to the house after having this event at a hotel, which there was spice there.
Right.
But when they get home, it was like, oh, we're going to do stuff in this room. We're going to do stuff in this room. We're going to do stuff in this room. We're going to take a dinner break. We're going to go do stuff in this room. And it was like, okay.
Where you actually see nudity in the movie, right? And so there is that difference. But other than that, the ending, the twist. I mean, so where he came out and lurked at Nina. So they're at, Millie's downstairs in the room watching TV. This is what I loved, I think, is she's downstairs watching TV. Cece had said to her mom before that, when Cece and her mom were having dinner, like, we shouldn't leave her. Like, what about Millie? And Cece's like, she should come with us. That was the change that I feel like was missing in the book. Like the creepy child now has a soul. And so she wanted her to not be stuck there because she knew what happened.
Because in the book it was Enzo telling Millie, telling Nina, sorry, I will forever get them mixed up.
It doesn't help they look alike in the movie.
It was Enzo telling Nina that like she needed to go back and help Millie.
Yes.
And she was like, nah, Millie can handle herself. It's fine. I did love the scene of her in the car screaming. Oh. And then that turning into laughter. And
that's literally she's screaming. They show more of part one, literally. And then part two immediately starts as soon as she changes her scream to a laugh. Like, and she's jumping on the bed and she's like so excited.
That was a really funny
It was
montage.
such a great
Kelly Clarkson, since you've been gone, she's jumping on her bed.
Drinking champagne, just celebrating all the things. And so that was a fun moment. But that's when you saw the change from part one to part two. So really good job on changing that. They did a really good job at that.
Yeah. I think the whole thing definitely kept my attention.
Yes.
Even having read the book, I was curious as to how it was going to come together. I think they did a great job.
Mm-hmm. I was worried at the end. So they come down the stairs, right? And he's going after Millie. And then he thinks Millie had ran outside. Mm-hmm. And he's like, the way he's like, oh, Millie, and he was so, and then Nina was so smart and screams inside. Mind you, she's there. He had just thrown her down the stairs. And she's like, tells him how she feels. Like, I'd rather be dead than be with you. And so then here comes Millie, whack, and just, because he basically was saying, like, I will kill, okay, I'll kill you.
It would be my pleasure.
Yes.
It would be my biggest honor.
And then Millie's like, me first.
Right.
Oh, man.
So the one other change is that Detective Connors was in the book an older man detective, and in the movie we get a younger woman who ends up being the sister instead of the dad of one of Andrew's former victims.
Right, his ex-fiancé.
Right. And so she's the one who kind of signs off on, oh, wow, this was an accidental death. Huh, that's weird. He was changing a light in the middle of the night.
Yeah. I mean, I liked that they kept that portion because otherwise no one else would have signed off on it.
Right. I think I still would have liked for it to be the dad. I understand as a sister, I would be very protective of my sisters if they were in a situation like that, but I feel like it would have come across better from the dad perspective.
It was so good, though.
Right. I mean, regardless, it's somebody from that family getting their vengeance and being like, nope, we're not going to give this guy any more time of day.
Yep. And then the very end, we end where you have the funeral and then...
In the massive mausoleum, the Winchesters, good golly.
That's
like a whole cemetery just for one family.
That was intense, right? And then Cruella de Vil, we leave her
right
to be...
Millie gets her check for $100,000.
Yes.
Go move on with your life. And yet she's still going to be a housekeeper,
right?
Or a housemaid.
Because she can't leave because she's still on parole.
Yeah.
But then, she becomes a housemaid, gets offered another job. And I love how she's basically exposing her bruises on her wrist, saying, you came recommended by Nina.
Right. And playing with the knives and the knife block. I was like, this is very good staging because the camera was coming from an angle where you could see the knife block. And I was like, okay, this lady's going to use this as a prop at some point. And she did. She was like, he's hard to deal with.
Yep.
And it's like, can you take care of that?
So movie 2 might come out.
Right. Well, you've read all of the books.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
I stopped at the first one. So maybe come April, when it's time for us to mark our full year, maybe we'll bring out the second book.
Oh, man, you've got to read the second one. I loved the second one more than the first one, and so I think that we should. It's so fun.
Well,
such a good
I'm
one.
very happy that we went and saw the movie.
Yes.
Do you have a rating? I do want to say that back when we started, we were giving our book ratings out of 10 and then decided that the rest of the world does book ratings out of 5 stars. So we were going to switch. So our ratings were an 8 and
8.5. Yeah.
8.5.
Yeah.
And so on our 5-point scale, I mean...
4.5. Yeah. Yeah. I'd still go... Would you keep it at a 4?
The book, I might do like a 3.9. I don't know.
That one, again, I have such book amnesia, and this is probably the number one book that I recommend to people that are in a book slump because it's such an easy read, and it's like, it's really fun. It's a page turner. There's a couple things that I'm like, oh, just be careful, trigger warnings here. But those don't, as you know, those don't stop me from reading a book or recommending a book. And so I would stick to a 4 or 4.5. It's still super well done. Again, book 2's better.
Even better. So what about the movie? How do we go about giving the movie a rating?
Oh, man, that movie. Okay, so if I'm going to say I would keep the book at a 4.5, right? Oh, the movie, in my opinion, was better than the book.
Yeah.
I truly felt that extra twist was what I needed just to, like, push it over the edge. There were a few things that I'm like, I missed Enzo, but if I hadn't read the book, I wouldn't even have known any different without Enzo. But, man, that book and, I mean, the movie was just, it was beyond. It was great. And again, this is a visual versus my mind making up these.
Yeah.
So it's hard to rate the difference, right? Because we're going, all right, my imagination versus you're telling me what these people look like.
Right.
That's way different.
It really is. I'm trying to think of our Thursday Murder Club movie ratings because I feel like I rated the movie less than the book because I fell asleep during the movie multiple times. It was still cozy, but it wasn't like...
Yeah, I feel like the same.
Awesome. It wasn't like knock my socks off, great movie. It was fun and I would watch it again. But this one, I think I would go up to like a 4.5.
I would probably do like a 4.8, 4.9. It was so good. And I would be like, just so you know, Mom, don't go see it. There's way too many spicy scenes.
And don't sit in for the previews. because this is a psychological thriller. All the previews were terrifying. I was like, I'm not old enough. I'm not mature enough. I cannot watch these. I'm going to have nightmares tonight about a monkey because of this stinking movie about a primate that goes ape wild.
Oh, that trailer there. I was laughing because you were like, what are we watching?
Know your crowd. Like, we like books, not this.
But it was so good. The movie was so good. And I'm so glad we finally got to go see it. It was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
New
So
Year.
Happy New Year. Speaking of New Year's, right? So we've done 20 books. I want to know, we went back and looked at all the books that we did. Which would you say would be your top? You could go off your ratings, sure. But which book just lingers with you for this full time?
Well, I talked about it in our last episode because I said that The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year might be my favorite book so far. It was just so fun and such an easy read. The conversation was so fun. And over Christmas break, I read her other book.
Oh, yes.
I read The Blonde Identity, and it was super fun as well.
See, look at that.
It was very enjoyable and had the same really catchy writing and very quick and conversational and very silly because that one, there's a girl who has amnesia, and so she's like a baby. Like, she's just experiencing everything for the first time, and so the guy that she's with is experiencing everything for the first time with this person. Like, it was just very cute and still like the Bourne Identity, like action, and like this girl is karate chopping people because she thinks she was a spy, or like she's like, I should have muscle memory to do this, and like it was very funny, very well done. So I will say that one still ranks up there way high. I have several 5-star ratings, and you have none.
Well,
So.
I laugh because I remember when we first started, you would say, I'm a very generous rater.
Yeah.
And you've gotten harsher.
I have. I've gotten a little more picky on this, but I will say I have several 5-star ratings, and they still do it for me. So I don't feel bad about my generous ratings because I have Sunrise on the Reaping, Hunger Games fan to the core. So when we were at the movie theater, they already have the posters up for Sunrise on the Reaping.
And the trailer.
Yeah.
We saw the trailer. It was good.
Yeah. I'm so excited. And that's next November. Like, it's not until... But they know their crowd. See, that was the trailer that they needed to be playing.
Correct.
Not creepy monkey and other scary stuff. So there was that one. And then First Lie Wins. I think I mentioned it in our last episode. Like, I loved that book.
Yep.
I loved that one. So if you haven't gone back and read that one, please. You had that one.
That was my top rating,
Yeah.
4.9. And really, that one is just nearing a 5 because that one was so good. And really, trust me, we're going to be looking for more of the author's books because I feel like that author was such a good author. And the way she wrote the book was so good.
Well, and she has a new one coming out.
Oh, yes. It's on my TBR.
Right. We already have it, like, requested because it comes out in February.
Yeah.
So please keep your eye out for Ashley Elston.
Yes.
Because
So good.
she's going places and we're taking her with us.
Absolutely.
We're joining the ride. The other one, okay, so those, Anxious Generation, who did nonfiction,
Right.
kind of parenting, talking about cell phones and technology and how it really impacts our kids and our family and even our lives.
Oh, yes.
I gave that one a 5 just because it's so thought-provoking.
Right.
I think you
I said
thought
it was.
that, but it was way too dry and...
I thought the information was good, but some of the story or some of the book part, I was like, oh my goodness.
Right,
This is
you
like
could not physically
overload.
read the book. You have to listen to it because it is overload. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I would like to do another, and I think we're going to try to get in another book about that's more thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about for you? Because I'm seeing, we talked First Lie Wins, but Hunger Games is really up there for you, Sarah.
Oh, I actually was just thinking, like, when I thought about, like, year in a review, which books actually stuck with me? Because I think those are the books that probably deserve the 5 stars. Books that don't just, like, stop there. That actually, I still can linger back and go, wow, that was so good. Like, today I was like, I still remember what the book was, and we did this like forever ago. That was one of the things that made me fall away from that going, okay, Hunger Games was definitely my top. First Lie Wins, such a good book. Even Listen for the Lie. right? I loved all of those. They were so good. And so Hunger Games, though, I actually am really excited to see the movie. I mean, I'm not going to go back and read all the books because it's like, how many?
Well, I mean, there's 4 other books.
Yeah, I mean,
3 that you absolutely have to read.
I guess before I see this movie.
Oh my goodness. I am excited for that movie as well. But
Although
I'm so happy that like you remembered it, probably because you were so confused and took so many notes is why it really sunk in.
Well, and like really what I think is good, even with this, even if I don't go read any of the other ones, I know I'll still enjoy the movie because I could get into this book without having had read any of them or really even understanding these characters. So I think even if you haven't read all the other ones, this one was standalone good. And I think the movie, hopefully, maybe, still be the same.
I sure hope so. My other one was Too Old for This. That was another one that was really highly rated for me. Granny serial killer, just didn't see it coming. And that one I will continue to recommend to people with the caveat that, like, you have to be a certain type of person to read this book. But so good. I picked that one for my book club, so I'm making them all read Granny Serial Killer now.
Right.
So I'm excited to hear more people's takes on this. So if you have followed along and read that book with us, leave a comment on the episode. Like, I really want to hear people's genuine thoughts about this book because I loved it so much.
I actually would love to know what other people's favorite book of the year was, and maybe we can add it in to what we're going to be reading coming the next year. Or even throw us an author. It doesn't have to necessarily be a book. Like, give us some good authors. You know that I like all the psychological thrillers, get in the head of, like, the psychopaths. I love it all, and the twists and the turns, that's, like, perfect.
So on the flip side of that, our lowest rated books.
Oh, man, there were some rough ones to get through. And like I told you, 2 of them, I would have like thrown down and gone, I'm not finishing this book.
Right. Yes. It is funny to me that our 2 books that took us to Paris are our lowest rated books.
I think that's funny too.
Paris Apartment was our second book, and that one just didn't meet muster.
Nope. And then even where we went and
Murder Takes a Vacation.
I think we rated that a little bit higher because it actually took us to Paris. We actually saw sights and like gave it a few extra points because we actually went on vacation.
It was a cozy mystery, but definitely not something to write home about.
And there's one other, Wild Dark Shore, which is really funny for me. And actually, if you've read the book and it was like a 5-star for you, please tell me why. Because it has on so many people's top 5 of 2025 books to read. And I don't understand why. It wasn't like a horrible, horrible book, but it wasn't great. In my opinion, like, again, some spoilers, I'm not going to give you too much, but there are parts of that I'm like, that was so done horribly.
Yeah, we both ranted about that one. We did not rave. We were not, like, it wasn't bad.
No.
But it was not gushable. Like, everybody at the top of the list, it was Amazon's top book of the year.
So many people I've seen say that was on their top 5 of 2025. I think it was like Goodreads too. Like it was on their top 10, I think. And I was like, why? I don't get it.
Right.
Is there something that I missed? Did I read the wrong book?
Maybe we missed a chapter or something. I don't know.
Did we mix like the editor's notes or like, I don't know. It was just...
But that's what this is about. Like, we all have very different perspectives.
Yes.
And I find that so refreshing after I read a book, being able to pick your brain to be like, did we read the same book? Did you like it? No, I hated it. Okay.
I know, but I do love, there's very few, and actually a couple that we have very different thoughts on it. And I'm like, that's fun for me to know, like, why do you like that? That's horrible. And you think the same thing about me.
Right. I mean, like our zombie book, that was a very interesting time because you were all about the zombies and the Walking Dead action, and I was lost in the sauce.
But it's really fun to see where we've come. 2025 and 20 books. And hey, it's really cool to know that we have, 40, 50, 45 episodes or something like that? Mm-hmm. I mean, that is awesome that we continue to come out every week and give you new books and continue to do this.
Right. It's still a lot of fun for us. So I hope that our listeners are having fun with us.
I mean, leave us some like awesome ratings. Go ahead and like give us some stars, give us a thumbs up, follow us, subscribe. It goes a really long way.
It really does. And reviews, I want to say like Apple reviews are really good.
Yes.
Spotify, you can leave comments on episodes now, and we try to put up a poll. You can watch the video if you are a visual person. Like we're on YouTube and Spotify for video. And you know what? I post a ton of clips on our Instagram page and our Facebook page. So we're there. We've got a newsletter that comes out. We've got all the different venues. And we'll see what 2026 holds for us.
If you're feeling really saucy, go ahead and share.
Right?
Share it with a friend. I mean, to me, just kind of like what our goals are for 2026 with this podcast is just to bring a new crowd, a fun crowd that kind of reads with us. We want this to be not just us. We want our listeners to kind of dive into some of these books, give us all the things, tell us how silly we look or that we are wrong on every which way. And that's the fun part of it.
Right. We want to develop more of this bookish community.
Yes.
And we've been brainstorming ways to create some like extra content or like bonus material, and we'll see what we can come up with.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Until then, keep reading.
Keep ranting.
And remember, you are so approachable.
Okay, the episode is over. If you enjoyed it, could you give us a thumbs up or leave a review?
It goes a long way toward helping us grow and meet new people like you.
Subscribe to get notified when the next episode drops.
You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook to see what we're reading next, recommend new books, and join the conversation.
We're so excited to have you on board.